Hi everyone, my name is Claire Bouvier. Welcome to FEiST, Female Entrepreneurs in Small Towns. If you were to ask me, I would probably have to say that I spend about 45 minutes to an hour every single day looking for keys, looking for a charger, where I put my iPad, purse. The thing is, it got to a point where our partner also can't find his keys, can't find his wallet, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, if we start looking at how many hours a day not being able to find things, we lose a lot of precious moments, either to spend time with each other, to go do things we like. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, over the course of a year, a lifetime, that wasn't acceptable. So we had the amazing privilege to move and start from scratch. And I remember my one goal was, when we move, we are going to create processes. What is it that's going to work? And there's been a lot of books I've read, talking to the right people. Not everyone has the privilege of having a personal organizer or, maybe an OT, someone that creates these structures. And so I've started to dive in and just really figure out what are the big pain points. And one of the biggest things was simple, is the work that I do is based around electronics, making sure everything's working for my work. And here I am not being able to find anything. And then everything seems like that. It's so much harder to start something, especially when you don't know where things are. Someone with ADHD that gets very excited and impulsive and maybe create something, I forget to, put it all back exactly where it is. But over the last, I want to say, couple months, specifically the couple months I've been very intentional about it, is creating these processes. So for example, why do I need to charge my electronics in 5 different places in the house? And then I move them for that moment. So one thing I started doing was, there was a charging station. Everything that you can possibly imagine that needs to be charged goes into one space. And I've started kind of categorizing everything based on what it is. And if one thing is low, then something else needs to be replenished. I have cues, I have colors, I have things highlighted. And I'm gonna say the beginning of it kind of feels overwhelming because it feels like it's more work. And this is the problem. Over time, it's getting easier and easier, and it's like riding a bike. You go back to it and it just feels really natural. And I notice I'm cutting down time. I can get to places on time, feel more organized. I feel like starting a task isn't as hard. And this is what I've come to realize, that we spend so much time in this book, if you can read it, Effortless. There's a lot of subjects on this topic in different capacities that I've read over the years, but the biggest thing is we spend so much cognitive output trying to declutter the spaces in front of us, our computer screens with folders and folders, or maybe not even folders, just things all over the place. I've been on a couple of Zoom calls this week and hundreds of tabs up and so much mess in our lives that it would be so daunting, and it has been so daunting for me to kind of start tackling it. To start anything feels overwhelming. But then when there's these processes and things set up, it makes it a million times easier. You're a little more excited to approach it. But going back to this cognitive output, our brains are exhausted. We spend so much time kind of sorting things, organizing things, finding things, and by the time we sit down to do the task or the activity or whatever that we're going to enjoy, it feels less joyful, less exciting, a little more daunting, because you have drained that part of your brain to just be figuring it all out and finding it and putting it together. I am by far not an expert, but I love that I have started to create this channel based on, while I'm discovering things, trying them out, I love to share them. And I think if you feel like I felt for most of my life, just like catching my breath trying to find something, or running out the door and you're like, why isn't there? I thought it was there. Create systems. And I can do a whole nother episode on just like some of the templates I've created just for myself, putting them around the house, on my computer, on the calendar. You can kind of see behind. But the idea is, get excited about the things that you really want to enjoy, and make sure that the things to get there it's not like climbing over, going through closets, digging out things just to find something, whether that's metaphorical or literal in your life. Making those different choices, those processes, is going to make your life a million times better. I have still a lot to learn. So if you're one of those people that have a whole bunch of ideas and tips and tricks, please share. Thanks for listening. Keep spreading your awesome and try to create processes to eliminate the cognitive output that you spend on the things that aren't that fun so you have energy to do the things that you love. Thanks!